where would you like to see hip hop go in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, hopefully, as I've been saying, telling people, as we become more aware and get into being intergalactic human beings, we're going to see hip hop definitely go intergalactic as they start moving people into different great places in space. And you're definitely going to see it take on another different form. But I like to see hip hop on this planet get more organized into politics, for it won't be no politics, and to have health insurance and to think about keeping the culture alive and forming a federation of hip-hop artists that would stand for each other when the injustice happened in hip-hop music or any music on our planet.
What are you doing music-wise these days? Because, I remember in the very beginning there was a bunch of new Afrika Bambaataa Soul Sonic Force records, and then they would just sort of come, every so often after that.
Yeah, well, we still making music. We're making a lot of music. We got new records out here. We got DJ Hectech, who has a Zulu Bambaataa anthem single that he just dropped. We just dropped Say Zulu by Afrika Bambaataa in Time Zone. These are scratch breakbeat records, like when we did Zulu War Champ. And then there's a lot of songs I have did with a group called the Mighty Macumbos coming out of Germany. I'm doing songs with different artists in Brazil. I did songs with different artists in France. So I'm always busy doing something and under different names and different titles. We keep that different type of funk, like George Pollard and Funkadelic when he had Bootsy, Brides of Funkenstein, Zap and all that type of things, and James Brown Family Soul. So you might hear me in different other names and don't even know it's me, but I'm still doing what I'm doing.
I remember when I watched you DJ for the first time out in Belgium. I remember the one thing that was different from your DJ set than everyone else's was that you really played what you wanted to play. You weren't a slave to the hot records of that day or anything of that sort, but you really kind of dictated as a DJ what it is that the crowd was going to experience. Do you think that not enough DJs are doing that these days?
Yeah, I think too many DJs are following what they hear on the radio. To me, I feel once the record is hitting on the radio, although you might play that in your set, it's time to bring some other music to make it popular. I don't care even if it was old, that you can make popular again or do a remix and make that popular again. So I'm definitely one who try to take you through a musical journey when I DJ, and I guess that's what's been keeping me so strong, still traveling all over the planet. That people still calling me to this day to DJ, whether it be big parties, stadiums, down to little clubs and functions like that. So that's why I try to, just keep my ear to the street, and also everything that I play, it must have the funk to it.
Do you feel that these days, just the whole concept of a DJ is different? Because, when you and I first started, a DJ had to have a huge record collection. He had to have his own turntables, and if he was doing parties, he had to have his own sound system and everything else like that. Now, these days, you could have any celebrity put a DJ in front of their name, and they'll start getting booked for parties, for a lot of money. And I know you've seen this personally.
Yeah, that's become crazy now, because I was talking to a couple of DJs around the world about that. So some of these DJs, even in the techno electro, is making phenomenal money, and all they doing is tweaking. Where we know many of these hip hop DJs could take that trance and techno and all that and flip it and throw it back at them and make the crowd even go more crazier. But it's certain cliques, and like I said, like you was talking about Illuminati, but there's certain other type of cliques within the music industry that dictates what's going to be happening and who's going to be making it happen and putting what money behind that person to make it happen. So yes, that does bother sometimes when there are certain DJs out there who could play everything, and here comes these other people. So many singers and rappers are now becoming DJs that's really flooding up the market. So you don't know what you're going to get when you bring certain DJs to a certain event or party.
I remember when Biz Markie, when he first became a DJ, I think that actually changed the game, because he's actually a very good DJ, But he was, I think, the first rapper that really went out and just started doing the DJ thing seriously.
Yes, he definitely loved the art, and he didn't play with it. I mean, in fact, when he started DJing, he really started moving away from his recording, and then he decided every now and then to go back and make some recordings here and there. So he really went full-fledged to become a DJ, where more today you have other people say, oh, shoot, you know, I ain't making too much money no more in recording these songs or things like that, and they just giving away my MP3s like that, so I might as well hurry up and jump on this DJ market and try to get as much money I could get as a DJ.
I mean, where do you see the role of the DJ in the future?
The role of the DJ is still going to be something to watch, because a DJ keeps, certain DJs that keep their sounds to the street could also be fantastic producers, long as they know certain ways how to work that technology that's out there these days. As well as there's still other people who's not DJs that just sitting in their living room make some fantastic music that I heard from people that just made songs out of their living room and stuff that put it online. So there's a lot of great music out there, and that's why I said, why is these so-called radio stations are not playing all this other great music that's still out there that you could be playing on the airwaves?
There was a time in hip hop where if you were a 30-year-old rapper, like, people would make fun of you. Like, you know, that was the worst. I remember me and Too Short talked about this, how it was the worst thing in the world to be a 30-year-old rapper. And now when you look at some of the biggest rappers in the world, they're in their mid-30s or even their 40s, like Jay-Z.
Well, I always thought that was silliness when anybody said something like that, because you don't tell Rod Stewart that he can't make a funk record when he made Do You Think I'm Sexy, or Mick Jagger when he decided to go from rock and say, I want to make Miss You or Hot Stuff. You don't tell none of these artists that they can't do what they want to do. Why should you tell a hip-hop artist that he must stop at age 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 when you should have the same thing respect as anybody of a Frank Sinatra, Diana Ross, or Dionne Warwick in hip-hop? So any people that laugh at anybody that's still doing hip-hop in their 40, 50, 60, they could be in their 100. Something's wrong with you. If they still got it and they still could funk it up, let it be.
Who would you say are your top 3 rappers of all time?
That's too hard to say. I can't give no order like that. But I always give respect to the great Grandmaster Melly Mel and the great Ice Cube and the great Tupac and the great Jay from X-Clan and Dougie Fresh. I mean, there's so many different styles out there. So it's hard to pick your favorite rapper when there's so many great different styles out there to choose from. I'm crazy with Chuck D, and then there's the great Honorable KRS-One. So it's so many. Then that I'm crazy about Queen Latifah and Salt and Pepper and MC Light. So it's just too many.
What do you think about Charlamagne comparing, you know, to Pimp a Butterfly and you know, Sugar Free's influence?
I heard myself. He acting like he up in here fighting some big murder trial and everybody's in there pointing him out and snitching. He acting like he went to jail. He acting like he just, like the whole snitched on theme of it is just like some made up cartoon type shit, you feel me?